I don't think it comes as a shock to anyone that America has some problems with media representation and diversity. Hi there, my name is Nancy and this is my YouTube channel in which I talk about books and things, and this video more leans on the things aspect of that. Oh look, a controversial video topic. That's gonna be fun. Today I'm going to be talking about the BookCon guest list. And you know what I said about America having problems with media representation and diversity? Well, the BookCon guest list really and sadly personifies that. So if you want to know more about BookCon and the guest list and the sort of controversy behind that, which it's not really a controversy because no one is talking about it, you can go ahead and watch the video that I'll link to you below, or just click on the screen somewhere here. In short, BookCon is a book convention that is fairly new and it's set up in New York City. The basic rundown is that the guest list consists of mostly white men, a few white women, and a cat. A cat before a person of color. You stay classy, BookCon. For the skeptics, you know, the ones that are like, what about Beyonce, or Jackie Chan, or Lucy Liu? What are you complaining about? Well, I have a few examples for you. Really? The light-skinned black woman, the guy who plays every frickin' stereotypical kung fu master, and that one Asian chick in every movie, is that really all you could come up with? First example, Khan Singh in Star Trek. In the Star Trek showverse, Khan is the strongest, most intelligent, and the most superior man in the whole galaxy. And the show at the time was all about social progress. They had the very first interracial relationship on air. There was a multiracial cast, and Khan was of Indian descent. Come on, people, it's in the name. That's right, he was not a pasty British man. Sorry to disappoint you. The producers of the show basically wanted to say if there was a superior man in the whole entire galaxy, he sure as hell wouldn't be a white guy. And at the time, that was huge. But then Star Trek Into Darkness came out, and who do they hire as Khan, the most superior man in the galaxy? Yep, they hired the whitest man with the whitest name in Whitetown. In popular TV shows, there are hardly any people of color. In the show Girls, a show that takes place in the most diverse city in the whole world, New York City, come on. It has an all-white cast. And in the show New Girl, which also takes place in New York City, one of the few people of color has the shittiest storyline. I mean, seriously, Winston is a national treasure and you're gonna go off and treat him like that? Rude. There are so many other popular TV shows that do exactly this. They show a utopian society in which the people with darker skin pigmentations don't exist, or they die first in horror movies, either one. Here comes a personal anecdote. My best friend in high school once told me that I couldn't have a crush on a white guy because, quote, white guys usually date white girls, at least in movies and TV shows, unquote. Looking back, that kind of has to be a joke because that's like saying yellow fever doesn't exist. Ugh. So who's to blame for all of this lack of diversity? No one. Yeah, you were expecting me to go off on a rant, weren't you? These writers who write these movies and TV shows are working from personal experience, their own sense of reality. Except for Star Trek Into Darkness. Fuck you, J.J. Abrams. That's messed up. It's no one's fault that the writers who brought you New Girl and Girls are white people. And we have to remember that TV shows and movies are not certified teaching tools. It's all art. TV shows, movies, books, art. And if stories had certain rules, like how many people of color should be included, then it wouldn't really be art, would it? Though art is not a certified teaching tool, we still learn things from TV shows, books, and movies. We learn what's in fashion, what new jokes we can add to our sense of humor and social norm. In theory, we really shouldn't be learning from art, but that's not the reality of the situation. It's messed up, but it's happening. So how do we include people of color to fairly represent reality? It's all very simple, actually. We need more writers of color in order to bring more people of color to the screen and to the pages of books. Looking at you, BookCon. In the beginning of this whole thing, BookCon had a panel of children's literature, and they only put 4 white men on the panel. That sort of caused an uproar, and people demanded that there be more diversity. Then the people behind BookCon thought it was a good idea to add a few women and a cat to the mix. Links for all the sources for that are in the description, so go ahead and check that out if you're skeptical. I think it's fair to say that BookCon is not an art. It's a convention. It's a place where writers and their audience can come together and meet face to face and have that sort of intimate setting. And also people have gone out so far as to demand more diversity, but I definitely expected more. I expected at least a few writers of color. So here's an open letter to the people behind BookCon. Dear BookCon, maybe I've got this all wrong. Maybe your only flaw is ignorance. Maybe you need some enlightenment. Maybe you have not come across a writer of color in all the days you were alive on this racially diverse earth. I find that a little difficult to believe, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Nonetheless, I have a list of writers of color that you might be interested in because of their array of children's books and their popularity. The first person we have here is Sherman Alexie. Alexie is Native American and he's lived a pretty good chunk of his life on an impoverished reservation. He's more known for his literary fiction, but he also has a really popular YA novel called The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. And I know that BookCon is all about popular culture and movies and the crossover between books and movies and all that stuff. Well, Sherman Alexie has made a movie and it's actually pretty incredible. It's on Netflix. You should watch it. It's good. Second, there's Tahira Mafi. She was born in Connecticut, but if you have to know, she is of Iranian descent. She's the mind behind the Shatter Me series, and the first book in that series has over 70,000 ratings on Goodreads. She's also married to Ransom Riggs, the guy who had written Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. In fact, bring them along. They're like the cutest package deal. Third, there's Marie Lu. Lu is an Asian American author, and she's the mind behind the Legend series. The first book in that series has over 100,000 ratings on Goodreads. I mean, shit. Also, there's talks of the Legend series becoming a movie. Fourth, there's Jenny Han. Jenny Han is another Asian American author, and she's the mind behind the Samurai Turned Pretty series. The first book in that series has over 50,000 ratings on Goodreads. Also, that series is in talks of becoming a movie. Her latest book, To All the Boys I Loved Before, has a person of color as a protagonist. I mean, they didn't even whitewash the cover. I have never seen an Asian American on the cover of a YA American novel before. This is really cool. Fifth, Benjamin O'Leary Sands. He's a Latin American author and poet, and he's written the most beautiful book ever. And that is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. The book is about two Latin American homosexual teenagers. Like, how can you get more diverse than that? The book has a little over 10,000 ratings, but I could definitely tell the book is taking off. It's getting super popular. Also, the cover is nearly covered with literary awards. Sixth, Walter Dean Myers. Myers is African American and he has written the award-winning book Monster. The book is about a kid who gets caught up into this crime that he didn't commit, but it's a very serious crime and he's awaiting trial for it. It has over 30,000 ratings on Goodreads. The book has won a Michael Prince Award and was a National Book Award finalist. This guy is a mastermind. I'd like to see him there. Seventh, just to add love to the LGBTQ community, David Levithan. Here's a name that you might recognize. Levithan is John Green's friend. They've written a book together called Will Grayson, Will Grayson. Honestly, I don't think it would be that much of an effort to go and call him up and ask him to be part of the convention. He writes books in which the characters range in sexuality, and sexuality is not a thing that is mentioned a lot in YA novels because heterosexual privilege. His latest book, Every Day, has over 40,000 ratings. Along with Rachel Cohn, David Levithan have written Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, and if that does sound familiar to you, it should, because it was made into a movie starring Michael Cera and Kat Dennings. Finally, Mindy Kaling. How are Amy Poehler and Tina Fey on the guest list and Mindy Kaling is not? Come on! Kaling is awesome. She's probably most known for her role as Kelly in The Office, but little do people know Kaling was actually a writer for The Office. She's also written a memoir called Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me, and it has over 100,000 ratings on Goodreads. Not only that, but she created and stars in her own TV show called The Mindy Project. And it's probably hands down the funniest TV show since 30 Rock. Yeah, I went there. There are probably a few more people I can name, but this video can only go so long without it getting exhausting. The whole argument that there are no diverse popular writers is total bullshit. There are a very impressive few and the number is growing. But it really is a question of how much it's growing. As an Asian American author myself, the publishing industry looks very hostile for me. It doesn't look extremely welcoming. And my hope is that if you have more diverse writers on your guest list, maybe the publishing industry will take that as a reflection. And I bet there are a lot of people in New York City, one of the most diverse cities, who would love to see these people on panels. You have this profound opportunity to showcase writers of color and put our country in the right direction in terms of media representation. So I write this letter to really just plead you to listen, and to just throw us a bone for once. The world really isn't as white as you think it is. Sincerely, a very disheartened book lover. Now, there are a few people I would love to see respond to this, specifically Meg Gilbert or Alan Janae or Frenchie D. Of course, none of you are expected to make a video about this certain topic. You could talk about anything or nothing. I don't know. It's your call. On that note, I'd really like to see what you think about this issue. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If you disagree with me, I really want to know why. The best way we could combat this issue is by talking about it. Not a lot of people are talking about it right now, and the convention is a month away. So hopefully within this month, we can try to get some people of color on this panel. That would be amazing. And that'd be awesome if you wanted to go and tweet at the BookCon this video. Well, that was a long video, and if you made it this far, let me remind you that my name is Nancy, and I make videos on this YouTube channel about books and things. I'm trying my best to get people exposed to diverse writers and diverse books. I make videos about once a week-ish. I try twice a week. 3 times is like too much, but once a week, that's manageable. And on that note, I'll see you in another video, probably next week. Bye!